Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Job 16 to 20, Proverbs 12, and Psalm 107. Let's get started. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are you all. Shall windy words have an end? Or what makes you let you answer? Oh, I wish I could speak as you do. If you were in my place, and I could join words together against you, and shake my head at you. I could strengthen you with my mouth, and the soles of my lips would assuage your pain. If I speak, my pain is not assuaged, and if I forbear, how much of it leaves me? Surely now God has worn me out. He has made desolate all my company, and he shriveled me up. He has chosen a witness against me, and my leanness has risen up against me. It testifies to my face. He has torn me in his wrath and hated me. He has gnashed his teeth at me. My adversary sharpens his eyes against me. Men have gaped at me with their mouth. They have struck me insolently on their cheek. They massed themselves together against me. God gives me up to the ungodly. I was at ease, and he broke me apart. He seized me by the neck and dashed me to pieces. He set me up as his target. He slashes open my kidneys and does not spare. He breaks me with breach upon breach. He runs upon me like a warrior. I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin, and have laid my strength in the dust. My face is red with weeping, and on my eyelids is deep darkness. Although there is no violence in my hands, and my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not my blood, and let my cry find no resting place. Even now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and he who testifies for me is on high. My friends scare me. My eyes pours out tears to God. Now he would argue the case of a man with God, as the Son of Man does with his name. For when a few years have come, I shall go the way from which I shall not return. My spirit is broken, my days are extinct. The graveyard is ready for me. Surely there are mockers about me, and my eye dwells on their provocation. Lie down a pledge for me with you. Who is there who will put up security for me? Since you have closed their hearts to understanding, therefore you will not let them try it. He informs against his friends to get a share of their property. The eyes of his children will fail. He has made me a byword of the people, and I am the one before whom the men spit. My eye has grown dim from vexation, and all my members are like its shadow. The upright are appalled at this, and the innocent stirs himself up against the godless. Yet the righteous holds to his way, and hears his clean hands grow stronger and stronger. Adieu, come on again, all of you, and I shall not find a wise man among you. My days are past, my plans are broken off. The desires of my heart, they make night into day. The light, they say, is near to the darkness. If I hope for Sheol as my house, if I make my bed in darkness, if I say to the pit, you are my father, and to the worm, my mother or my sister, where then is my hope? Who will see my hope? Will it go down into the bars of Sheol? Shall we descend together into the dust? Then Bildad the Shuhite answered and said, How long will you hunt for words? Consider, and then we will speak. Why are we counted as cattle? Why are we stupid in your sight? You to yourself in your anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for you, or the rock be removed out of its place? Indeed, the light of the wicked is put out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light is dark and it is turned, and his lamp above him is put out. His strong steps are shortened, and his own schemes throw him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks on its mesh. A trap seizes him by the heel, and a snare lays hold of him. A rope is hidden for him in the ground, a trap for him in the path. Terrors frighten him on every side, and chase him at his heels. His strength is famished, and calamity is ready for his stumbling. He consumes the parts of his skin, and the firstborn of death consumes his limbs. He is torn from the tent in which he trusted, and is brought to the king of terrors. And in his twine dwells that which is none of his. Sulphur is scattered over his habitation. His roots dry up beneath, and his branches wither above. His memory perishes from the earth, and he has no name in the street. He is thrust from light into darkness, and driven out of the world. He has no posterity or progeny among his people, and no survivor where he used to live. They of the west are appalled at his day, and horror seizes them of the east. Surely such are the dwellings of the unrighteous, such is the place of him who knows not God. Then Job answered and said, How long will you torment me, and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times you have cast reproach among me. Are you not ashamed to wrong me? And even if it be true that I have erred, my error remains with myself. If you magnify yourselves against me and make my disgrace an argument against me, know then that God has put me in the wrong and closed its net against me. Therefore I cry out, violence, but I am not answered. I cry out for help, but there is no justice. He has walled up my way so that I cannot pass, and he has set up darkness upon my path. He has stripped from me my glory and taken the crown from my head. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone, and my hope he is pulled. He is pulled up like a tree. He has kindled his wrath against me. He encounters me as his adversary. His troops come on together. They have cast up their siege ramp against me and encamp around my tent. He has put my brothers far from me, and those who knew me are wholly estranged from me. My relatives have failed me. My close friends have forgotten me. The guests in my house and my maidservants count me as a stranger. I have become a foreigner in their eyes. I call to my servant, but he gives me no answer. I must plead with him with my mouth for mercy. My breath is strange to my wife, and I am a stretch to the children of my own mother. Even young children despise me. When I rise, they talk against me, and all my intimate friends abhor me, and those whom I loved have turned against me. My bones stick to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Have mercy on me, O you, my friends. For the hand of God has touched me. Mind you, like God, perceive me. Why are you not satisfied with my flesh? Know that my words were written. Know that they were inscribed in a book. Know that with an iron pen laid, they were engraved in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and at last he will stand upon the earth. And after my skin has been thus destroyed, yet in my flesh I shall see God, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another. My heart faints within me. If he said, how will you pursue him? And the root of the matter is found in him. Be afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishment of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment. Then Zophar the Naamathite answered and said, therefore my thoughts answer me, because of my haste within me. And he is censure that insults me, and my understanding a spirit answers me. Since do you not know this from of old, since man was placed on earth, that the exalting of the wicked is short, and the joy of the godless but for a moment? Though his height mount up to the heavens, and his head reach to the clouds, he will perish forever like his own dung. Those who have seen him will say, where is he? He will fly away like a dream and not be found. He will be chased away like a vision of the night. The eye that saw him will see him no more, nor will his place any more behold him. His children will seek the favour of the poor, and his hands will give back his wealth. His bones are full of his youthful vigour, but he will lie down with him in the dust. Though evil is sweet in his mouth, though he hides it under his tongue, though he is loath to let go, and holds it in his mouth, yet his food is turned in his stomach. It is the venom of cobras within him. He swallows down riches and vomits them up again. God casts them out of his belly. He will suck the poison of cobras. The tongue of a viper will kill him. He will not look upon the rivers, streams flowing with honey and curds. He will give back the fruit of his toil, and will not swallow it down. From the profit of his trading, he will get no enjoyment, for he crushed and abandoned the poor. He has seized a house that he did not build. Because he knew no contentment in his belly, he will not let anything in which he delights escape him. And there was nothing left after he had eaten. Therefore his prosperity will not endure. In the fullness of his sufficiency he will be in distress. The hand of everyone in misery will come against him. He will fill his belly to the full. God will send his burning anger against him and rain it upon him into his body. He will flee from an iron weapon. A bronze arrow will strike him through. It is drawn forth and comes out of his body. The glittering point comes out of his gallbladder. Terror has come upon him. Utter darkness is laid up for his treasures. A fire not fanned will devour him. What is left in his tent will be consumed. The heavens will reveal his iniquity, and the earth will rise up against him. The possessions of his house will be carried away, dragged off in the day of God's wrath. This is the wicked man's portion from God, the heritage decreed for him by God. Proverbs 12. Whoever loves loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. The good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of evil devices he condemns. No one is established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous will never be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, and she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are just, the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. A man is commended according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread. Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast. The mercy of the wicked is cruel. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. Whoever is wicked covers the spoil of evildoers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. An evil man is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes from trouble. From the fruit of his mouth a man is satisfied with good, and the work of a man's hand comes back to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. The vexation of a fool is no outward, as the prudent ignores an insult. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, and false witness utters deceit. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are as the light. No prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims folly. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. The anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down. A good word makes him glad. The one who is righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of the wicked leads him astray. Whoever is slothful will not roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. In the path of righteousness is life, and in his pathway there is no death. Psalm 107. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from trouble and gathered in from the land, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. Some wandered in desert wastes, finding no way to a city to dwell in, hungry and thirsty. Their soul fainted within them. And then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them from their distress. He led them by a straight way, until they reached the city to dwell in. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to the children of men. For he satisfies the longing soul, and the hungry soul he fills with good things. Some sat in darkness and in the shadow of death, prisoners in affliction and in irons. For they rebelled against the words of God, and spurned the counsel of the Most High. So they bowed with their hearts down with hard labor. They fell down with none to help. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distress. He brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death, and burst their bonds apart. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to the children of men. For he shatters the doors of bronze and cuts into the bars of iron. Some were fools through their sinful ways, and because of their iniquity suffered affliction. They loathed any kind of food. Then they drew near to the gates of death, and he cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them from their distress. He sent out his word and healed them, and delivered them from their destruction. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to the children of men. And let them offer sacrifices of thanksgiving, and tell of his deeds and songs of joy. Some went down to the sea in ships. They saw the deeds of the Lord, his wondrous works in the deep. For he commanded and raised the stormy wind, which lifted up the waves of the sea. They mounted up to heaven. They went down to the depths. Their courage melted away in their evil plight. They reeled and staggered like drunken men, and were at their wits' end. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them from their distress. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were hushed. And then they were glad that the waters were quiet, and he brought them to their desire in heaven. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to the children of men. Let them extol him in the congregation of the people, and praise him in the assembly of the elders. He turns rivers into a desert, springs of water into a thirsty ground, a fruitful land into a salty waste. He turns a desert into pools of water, and a parched land into springs of water. And there he lets the hungry dwell, and they establish a city to live. They sow fields and plant vineyards, and get a fruitful yield. By his blessing they multiply greatly, and he does not let their livestock diminish. And they are diminished and brought low through oppression, evil, and sorrow. He pours contempt on princes, and makes them wander in trackless wastes. Yet he raises up the needy out of affliction, and makes their families like flocks. The upright see inadequate, and all wickedness shuts its mouth. Whoever is wise, let him attend to these things. Let them consider the steadfast love of the Lord. Now thus done, I should add to the Lord's prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as you also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.